There you go. Okay, my brothers and sisters, this is another one. We got a special guest with a new episode. This is my homeboy. I can call him for all the Crips in the world, I would call this brother here the Melvin Hardy of the Bounty Hunters. And the reason why I say that is because he is the origin of the bounty hunters. His household is the origin of the bounty hunter. His backyard is the origin of the bounty hunter. His front yard is the origin of the bounty hunter. His household is the origin of the bounty hunter. He is the bounty hunter headquarters. Pyru got Pyru Street. We got the bounty hunter wall, which is behind Ricky Bryant's, a.k.a. Killer Rick, a.k.a. Bitter Dog. As of now, in the 80s, he became Silky Blood. That's the OG, triple OG, original Silky Blood. And he's going to break it down, the origin of the bounty hunters, starting off with the origin before the bounty hunters. And this is Bitter Dog from the original bounty hunters, 1971. He say 72, but I say 71. I'm sticking to 71 though. But he gonna give you the history before the bounty hunters, dealing with a gang called the Jackets. Your flow, brother.
Okay, everybody say that the bounty hunters, started on 112th on the wall, which is basically true. But before it kicked off, you know what I'm saying? How can I put this? It was a group of the homies, including myself. We formed a alliance called the Jackets, and it wasn't based off the Green Jackets, but that's where we got our name from. We just cut off the green, and we was the Jackets, and it wasn't no more than 5 or 6 of us. Ricky Brown, myself, Ricky Bryant, Joe Barker, James Miles, Shaky. I might have missed 1 or 2, but I was a teenager back then. I'm 64 now, still hanging. And we was going around the hood, and we was asking our big homies to join our gang. They was like, man, we ain't tripping with y'all little niggas, man. Excuse my French, but they wasn't messing with us. Except one OG that said he'd be a part of this. That was Tony Boyce, Sundog. And we was running around doing things. We wasn't really even thinking about the Crips and being no adversaries, nothing like that. We was just doing our thing in the hood. Till an incident happened, which brought our hood together, which was when Charlie Thomas got killed on Mother's Day in 1971. That galvanized our hood. That brought his big brother out the woodwork, which is Junior Thomas, that ended up being the leader of the bounty hunters. Once that happened, they came to the Jackets, but the big homies, they took over. You know what I'm saying? And us being the little homies that we was, we followed them. And then soon, the name Bounty Hunters became the focal point. And y'all know how that started. The OG Frog already let y'all know about the 57 Chevy come through the hood and the homeboy Percy Jackson, so that's how we're going to do that right there.
So excuse me, my brother, but BJ said the bounty hunters started by a Western movie, and there never was no leader of the bounty hunters.
BJ don't know what he's talking about, homie. Julian Thomas was the leader of the hunters, and bounty hunters started on 112th Street when a brown 57 pulled up in the hood, and the homeboy jumped out the car and ran at our homegirl house, Paulette Johnson. And when he pulled up with that black bounty hunter writing on the back of his window, we all knew what it was from there. That's how the bounty hunter started. It wasn't started from no Western, no cowboys. Come on, homie. We weren't even watching cowboys when we was coming up in the hood like that. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys, we was through with them in the 60s.
So why do you think he goes out and he just say anything about anything like he don't respect us to the point of telling the truth about our history? And he didn't start banging to 1979 when we was wearing leather coats and fur coats and Stacey Adams and selling drugs for DJ. Well, how he know so much about us?
This is all I can say, homie. You know, I can't say what's in that brother's mind, what's in his heart, the way he speak, what he speak, but you can't tell the bounty hunter story, period, from just one perspective. Because wherever you was, whatever you did, it was always 2, 3, 4 more brothers right there with you or me or with the other homies. So you can't just say, this how it was, this how it is, that's how it's going to be, because it don't go like that. When you tell a story, you got to find everybody to put their part in order for the story to be concluded and come to a right way.
So tell us about the origin of the bounty hunter wall then. How did that come about?
The bounty hunter wall, that's what we hung out at.
And how long you think, what year you think that was from when to when? It got knocked down in 75 or 76.
We started hanging out at the wall even really before the bounty hunters came out. Because, I mean, you know, all the homies used to kick it right there. The homegirl, we had homegirls lived on 112th, you know, and they even hung out at the wall. The wall was just a spot where you could come, chill, hear the music in the background coming out my house from Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On, and we just chill right there. But it eventually became the bounty hunter wall. Because if you was the original and you was a bounty hunter, you already knew you wanted to hang out with the bounty hunters where we was hanging out at. That was the deuce line on the bounty hunter wall.
So is it safe to say, if you claiming to be an original bounty hunter with Junior Thomas, you have to be at that bounty hunter wall?
Oh yeah, you have to be. If you're original and you didn't hang off at that wall, you can't say you was a bounty hunter, because that was headquarters. You could say the wall was headquarters.
So what do you think about all these brothers who never been bounty hunters and they was hustlers and gambling and making a lot of money and doing their thing, but then they go to prison or go to jail, and I won't call some names, you know what I'm saying, and they start, you know, acting like they was rolling with us back in 74, 73, and 72, and they were never with us. And I want to name some names because I just want to know what your point of view of that, because I think it's very offensive that people start gang banging because the drug trade came out and everybody started having money. Now all of a sudden, you know, guys like Big Carlos, Big Green Eyes, Schoolboy, all them want to be UBNs all of a sudden. But on the streets, they were smoking dope or getting high and chasing females and claiming hustler and hanging out with Mario Gray and Kirk Tillman. But then when they go to prison, they act like that they on your level. Do that offend you or what?
I mean, you know, all them names you name, you know what I'm saying? It don't really offend me, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, I kicked it with them guys on the street. Them guys was my homies. But when it comes to the bounty hunters, that's a total different story. None of them guys who you just named off that little roll call never kicked on the deuce line, was never, when we was walking to Carver Park, when we was getting at them Crips in the WLCAC, when we was going to the festival, none of them dudes who you named, none of them dudes was never there. So when it comes to the originals, they can't put that on there. I mean, they can say they OG from the projects, but they ain't no original. They can't say they're original bounty hunters.
Well, you know, people have a tendency when time goes on and people start dying off, and they feel that the youngsters that's coming up can't nobody interject. You know, I even went through a thing with Ty V one time. The rumor was going around saying that he put hands on Ray Boyce, but that's after Ray died. He never said that before when Ray was alive. So I had to go personally check Ty V in the 80s after Ray died. And I know how people get. They wait till people perish, the real ones, and then the fake ones come out and they want to ride on the coattail. You know what I'm saying? Like they was there. It's just like white folks. They want to change history, you know what I'm saying? And they know the true history, but they don't want you to know the true history because they don't want to feel less of. And I can understand that you don't want to feel less of. You want to feel like you part of what they call that, the starting line, the starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? But everybody can't be a starting lineup. And you do have some people like the Baby Bounty Hunters. What year they come out? 73, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Greg Sparks, and Johnny Ward,
Butter
you know what I'm saying?
Red.
Butter Red, the Teeny Boppers, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Those was the homeboys, you know what I'm saying? They banged with us, but they wasn't from the origin.
Right.
But they were like a branch from the
They
origin.
was a branch on the tree.
They was the branch. They was a branch. They was a branch from the origin.
They was
You know what I'm
putting in
saying?
work too.
Exactly. They was handling their
putting in
business.
work.
Because I look at 73 still as original origin. To me, 73 is still original origin because that was the peak of the wartime during the Crips and the Bloods, before there was Bloods anyway. You know what I'm saying? That was the peak of the war. Matter of fact, you can say yes or no. Do you want to discuss anything about the parade in 72? You want to just go briefly?
I mean, we could run through that.
Okay, you can go briefly through that and tell them what happened real briefly. And was that Roy Tucker that you got into it with, you and James Miles?
Well, yeah, well, me and Roy Tucker ended up facing up, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how it happened, you know what I'm saying? We mobbing down Central, headed towards Imperial, you know what I'm saying? Crew of the hunters and young YGs, OGs, and we get to Imperial and Central, and me and Point the Boat, we mob across the street, we ready to get out, but for some reason, when we hit the crowd across the street, our adversaries, it's just me and him. You know what I'm saying? So
I saw it. I witnessed that, my brother, with my own eyes. I seen when you came running back with a knife wound in your back.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And Pointed Bow got beat up the second time by them.
Pointed Bow went around the back. I stayed in the front on Central and Imperial, right in front of stops. And I think it was Roy Tucker. It could have been about maybe 2 or 3 of them. And we immediately started fisticuffs. And I think I was getting the best of him because that's when he pulled out the knife. And I spent around trying to get up out of there, and he caught me in the back. But I made it across Imperial and back to the house with the help of some of the homegirls. I think it was Loretta Clark, and it could have been Black Beverly and Sheila Gangster, I think. But they get me back to the house. Mom called ambulance, and took it to the hospital to get a few stitches, and that was pretty much it, you know what I'm saying, from my point of view.